NYU School of Law professor Ryan Goodman scoffed at the prospect of Donald Trump's lawyers going into court and defending their client of election tampering charges by claiming he believed he won the 2020 election. He explained on CNN this morning that the former president's lawyers would get laughed out of court if they attempted that defense.
The possible crimes the committee has identified. It doesn't matter what Trump believed about the election. If prosecutors focus on Trump's efforts to engage in vigilante justice, the intent element of these cases is easily satisfied. Joining us now is one of the authors of that op-ed, Ryan Goodman. He's a former special counsel at the Department of Defense and now a law professor at New York University. It doesn't matter, you say. Why?
It doesn't matter. So it could matter. There's a crime in which it would matter, but there are other core crimes that it doesn't. So let's just take, for example, the over 800 people who have been charged for the insurrection or engaging in the riot. It doesn't matter that they think Trump won, and I'd assume a great majority of them do. It's about their other forms of intent. So, for example, if Trump engaged in intimidation or threat of officials in order to try to overturn the election, that's what they need to prove. They don't need to prove whether or not he thought he won. And so, for example, if they say, well, you threatened the Georgia Secretary of State, defense counsel can't stand up in court and say, yes, but he thought he won. That's why he threatened the Georgia Secretary of State. That's the crime. So that's part of the problem for him. Another one, fraudulent documents. You can't submit fake documents from these alternative state of electors to the National Archives to try to gum up the works for the certification of the election. But you can't say, well, I thought I won, so that's why I submitted the fake documents. So it's a bunch of the core crimes. It's not something tangential or superficial. These are really what the committee has been discovering and presenting to us.
Former President Trump is currently facing a long list of legal challenges. On both the criminal and civil litigation fronts, the former president faces a bevy of lawsuits and investigations. Some are civil suits stemming from his pre-presidential business dealings. Others are defamation claims from women he allegedly assaulted. More still are criminal probes and civil actions that scrutinize his attempts to overturn the results of the 2020 election. The January 6th Select Committee has shed light in recent weeks of not only what Trump knew, but when he knew it following the election. The testimonies of those surrounding him at the time repeatedly have corroborated. They informed him that there was no evidence of widespread election fraud. The former president may have other ideas on how to get around legal challenges. In his own words from 2016, "I've taken advantage of the laws in this country, and frankly, so has everybody else in my position." If Trump's legal team is planning to use the defense that he believed he won the 2020 election, they may want to rethink their approach. Stay tuned, and thank you for tuning in to Raw Story TV. Please be sure to check out the headlines at rawstory.com. Stay informed and tap below to take action by liking, subscribing, and joining all those who like their news raw.